So earlier today I got an email from the Costa Mesa Police Department thanks to Nixle, which I follow, and they were just talking about an impending DUI check, and a couple of them, I seen them down East 17th Street, and I was instantly taken back to one of the last ones that I saw in the summer 2021. And then that kind of gave me a memory that I don't want to remember. I stayed there for a while and watched everything, like all the police motorcycles and police cars and all the units and all that. And I was walking back to the apartment, and I was walking by Cafe Rio, and a couple of employees were there just watching everything too. But I noticed that as I was going, one of the employees was just giving me like this death stare as if I was about to jump and attack. And I try not to think about it, but it always bruised my feelings thinking about it. So I was just in here in my room, and all of a sudden I was starting to do what I normally do. And as I usually do, I start to subconsciously dialogue like what I would say if like we were talking, like if I had to explain myself, or if I had to explain like, look, I have autism, I'm not an attacker, I'm just walking from point A to point B, I'm on the other side of the parking lot. Well, in context, the distance between them and me was that of like a neighborhood block, and we were across the street from each other. And so those memories came about just because of the email. And again, the point of this sub-series is to illustrate that sometimes insignificant things pop up, and it reminds me of things that happened even 5, 10, 20 years ago. And that's just the brain of an autistic, so I just am spreading awareness. And just to add another thing that was spontaneous, I walked all the way over here because I'm tutoring a couple of people today, and on the way I saw a big mural that's been down East 17th Street for ages, and that reminded me about the mural that I painted when I was in 8th grade in March 2009. And then several years later there was some form of vandalism, and then they ultimately painted over the entire thing, even though they said A, it was going to be permanent, and B, they were going to spray something on it that was anti-graffiti, that even if there was going to be graffiti, they could just wash it off. And all the other murals were all painted over too by now. And so my heart always drops because it's like I don't have like a legacy attached to Ensign Intermediate School other than what's in the yearbooks.